Hallo? Ja, das ist der Tontest. Wunderbar. Hello ladies and gentlemen, photographers and Fujifilm lovers. Today is time for a big review because I have the Fujifilm GFX 50S with me, which is a medium format camera with 50 megapixels. Enjoy this review. Today I'm here in the Venice Beach in Frankfurt, which is directly in town, so easy to reach. If you're here in Frankfurt, you want to eat something or you want to have a nice drink, you should check out this bar. I will do the low light performance in here as well, and of course some video tests. So enjoy this review, and if you have any questions, state a comment below, and make sure you visit us once you're here in Frankfurt at GM-Foto near the central station. Thanks for watching, guys. See you. Okay, let's start our tour around the body of the GFX. On one side you will find the dual SD card slot. At the photographer side you have the 3.2-inch LCD touch display with its 2.4 million dots. The monitor itself is bright enough to restrain bright daylight conditions, and the colors look super neutral with a great white balance. At the top is the electronic viewfinder, which covers 100%, has a resolution of 3.2 million dots, and if you wish to, you can detach it from the body as well. On the other side are a couple ports, such as a headphone jack, a connection for an external microphone, and behind the GFX symbol is a USB 3.0 and a mini HDMI connection. The grip itself feels really nice with its outstanding build quality, so you can easily grab the camera with big or small hands. A head display for your camera setting will save the battery, and it has a daylight and night mode function. I really like the feature that it stays in that mode without a switching of the light like you're used to it with your Canon or Nikon DSLR. The 1250 mAh battery helped us to take over 500 photos during the day. Great about the battery compartment is that it will open from the side, which is super handy if your camera is on top of a tripod and you need to change the battery, for example. Ladies and gentlemen, as previously stated, I'm here in the Willie James bar to test out the low light performance with this loud guy here. So enjoy, and these files are available for download. Just take a look in the description below and you will be directed to my Google Drive account, so enjoy! The problem with a 50 megapixel sensor is its low light performance. Every pixel is so small that you have to compensate the missing light with the ISO, which makes your photo looking like a snow shower. But the GFX 50S is equipped with a sensor that is about a third bigger than the sensor of your 5DSR or your Nikon D810. So it's capable of handling low light situations quite well, up to ISO 12800. These files are available for download, just take a look in the description below. Ladies and gentlemen, did you see that? So Goldie was so kind and spent a couple minutes with me to test out the film simulation of the GFX 50S.
Okay.
The GFX 50S features the old school films as digital presets as well. They are available through the quick button on the upper right or through the menu under the point film simulation. Of course, they don't look 100% like you're used to old film stripes, but they nearly represent an old school photo look. Here are a couple more examples for you, thanks to Goldie for the help. Another highlight of having a bigger sensor is the blurry background. You probably won't be able to get the same amount of bokeh on a full frame camera such as the 5D or Nikon D810. Of course, the lens itself contributes to that feature as well. In our test we used the Fujifilm 63mm with its 2.8 aperture. 63mm on a medium format sensor is approximately equivalent to a 50mm lens on a full frame camera. The lens itself is one of 3 native lenses for the time that fits onto the 50 megapixel beast. The bokeh is stunning and sharpness is outstanding, even shooting with a fast aperture. Unfortunately, the GFX does not feature 4K video, just Full HD with a maximum frame rate of 30 frames per second. But of course there need to be a bit of space for an improvement for the next generation, so stay tuned. If you want to test this camera in advance, we have it in stock in Frankfurt's best camera store, GM-Foto, near the Frankfurt airport. We're here in Hofheim, which is northwest of Frankfurt, to do another comparison between the Canon 5DSR and the Fujifilm GFX 50S. I'm here with a couple friends, they're behind me. You guys, come on, come on, come on, come on. They are so cute. So enjoy! The first thing I was thinking about when I compared these files is the different color tone of the 5DSR, which is a bit warmer than the one from the GFX. When I looked at these files the second time, I really noticed the difference between details of both cameras. Of course, the difference is not noticeable at the first moment when you take a couple photos at f8 in the studio with the same light and ISO 100. But as soon as you start shooting at ISO 3200 or f4 during daylight conditions, you will notice the difference quite fast. The dynamic range is much bigger on the GFX with its bigger sensor, and details are stunning if you zoom in. There are two folders in the Google Drive box with a couple raw files that you can compare at home with Lightroom or Photoshop. To be honest with you, I've never been a Fujifilm fan, but this camera is outstanding in every detail. By using the mechanic shutter, you will be able to shoot at a maximum shutter speed of a 4,000th of a second. The electronic shutter allows you a maximum shutter speed of a 16,000th of a second. We used a pretty fast writing SD card, but continuous shooting is just possible with 3 photos a second. A maximum series of 9 photos was possible in JPEG and RAW. By shooting in JPEG only, we were able to take up to 20 photos in series. The focus of the GFX 50S worked super fast and precise in our test. In the menu you can choose between 117 and 425 AF points. Later you can select each AF field with your joystick. If you press the stick once, then turn the dial behind the shutter button and you can increase or decrease the AF field. Over the monitor you can easily use the touch focus. The 63mm lens was pumping during focusing, which was quite strange. But as far as I understood, it should increase the precision of the focus itself. During hours of darkness the focus did not work 100% precise. During low light shots previously in this video, I used a tripod and I was focusing on the exact same spot. But at the end it took a while to take the photo because the lens kept pumping forwards and backwards. Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Fabian's basement to test out the Fujifilm GFX 50S, and we are doing some portrait pictures today with Lisa, Lena, Fabi and me, so enjoy. Next part is about portrait photography. We made our way to Hofheim, which is near Frankfurt, to take some portraits of Lisa and Lena in Fabian's studio. During the day we worked with an aperture of 8 or less, but not less than f5.6 for the studio shots. Of course, the sharpness is outstanding in the studio with all these flashes and the closed aperture. Be aware that if you come from a full frame DSLR, you will notice that even small changes of the AF field will give you a sharp or a not sharp photo if you don't adjust the focus due to the bigger sensor. I recommend if you take photos of a moving subject, increase the AF field, and if you take stills or detail shots, decrease the AF field a little bit just to be more precise. For me it was the first time shooting with a medium format camera, so there's a lot of space for an improvement in any knowledge. If you have anything that needs to be mentioned, take your time and write a comment below. Thank you very much. The link is in the description below that will guide you to my Google Drive account with some RAW and JPEG files that we took during the day. The GFX 50S lets you take video clips as well. It does not feature 4K, but video recording is possible in 1080p with a maximum 30 frames per second. Even 720p clips are possible, with only 30 frames per second. Overall, the video and audio quality is pretty good, and the headphone jack allows you to adjust the level by yourself. To get into video mode is the most complicated part here. You need to press the drive button on top and then choose the last point on your display. To start recording you need to press the shutter release button, and to stop the sequence you need to press it again. As far as I understood, you can select other buttons as well with different functions, which might be a solution. Let's get to a conclusion before I fell into sleep after that long day. One annoying point is the order of the delete and playback button. They are not easy to reach above the display, which makes it sometimes a challenge to review a photo or to delete a video file. But as far as I heard, you can set these functions to other buttons as well. I really enjoyed taking photos and videos during the day with the GFX 50S. I've never been a fan of Fujifilm, maybe because of their name or just because I'm a Canon boy, but the results of the GFX are outstanding. The camera is easy and intuitive to use, and the quality of these files is second to none. Even the low light performance with the 50 megapixel sensor is really good and convinced me. I put a bunch of files in my Google Drive that you can use to play around in Photoshop or Lightroom at home by yourself. Of course, for private use only. The camera is available at Frankfurt's best camera store near the airport. Thanks to Lena, Fabian and Lisa. I hope you enjoyed watching this review. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. Servus und bis bald aus Deutschland. Tschüss.